Very much, good evening.
Like just to the other side.
I don't see why not.
I sat there last week, so. Am I good to move this chair over here?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll move it over here so I can see a little better. Come on over here, Denise.
As soon as I got that message from the group, I was messaging Don, check in now, check in now. I need a proof of voiceover now. Yeah.
I haven't really heard any of the news today. Has it really done anything transpired?
We're still making decisions. But people are.
We're still getting ready,
So
Ellen.
it tells me the decisions have been made.
Go over the second one.
And they're not gonna say that, so that they can be attacked on ground. Outside encouragement.
That's your,
What a mess. Lewis.
you know what's really sad?
Keep it in the line.
High school.
Yeah. Have to come back every now and then and check to make sure everybody. Ever since I got those messages today, though, it's like I can't even breathe.
I used the fucking truck in the morning.
Catching my breath. Trying to catch my breath. One of the boys that Don knows said that their next deployment, their next scheduled deployment wouldn't even be to Japan, like it's supposed to be. Because we're trying to do these things in Japan, finally. Yeah. After all these years of saying they would, they're finally starting to.
Well, it's gonna be really hot down here Saturday. What do you think about getting them,
Misters?
yeah, them, water curtains from the fire department? There's somebody over there probably said.
It's so early yet, Art.
Talking about setting the water curtains up down there.
That's a lot of water.
Well, we can.
Somebody had.
We can cut the flow way back.
At one point, somebody had, like a PVC thing that went onto the tent. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, Katie, it starts at 6.
Like a little pop-up tent.
Here in a few minutes.
They had a PVC thing hooked up to the garbage.
Yeah, and I mean, the water curtain, that is a lot of water, but I figured we could just get it back.
I don't know if you could gate it back enough to make it effective. The more you gate it back, the lower the water goes.
Right, yeah. I wonder, is that something that,
I don't know who, maybe the ambulance?
no, I mean, is that something you can rent like at rental?
They have little Mr. fans. I think that's regarding.
Right, well, we got water. We bought them stuff years ago.
You can ask Don if the animal house was, I think it was their setup, I can't remember for sure.
They
Yeah,
got
we used
some-
it funded or something.
Well, what did we didn't we buy like green?
Yeah, we use them for this.
Forgot to get one.
Like that.
We're gonna need that.
Maybe trainers that set them up down there for us.
Oh, of course.
How are you?
Oh, darn the luck.
Well, I don't know.
These two, those two.
Nice. Only home 2 weeks, so.
Nice to see everybody again.
And you said you're going back already?
2 weeks I'm home for you. Today he said it's horrible. You can't even stand to where it's at.
I'm envious.
You went back for, Mondays, for Mondays?
I'm here for Deputy Derby. I do Thursday. Freedom Run and Deputy Derby, I just told you.
Well, hopefully you
Yeah.
I was trying to find the exact time, that's.
This year, Dawn.
Sorry if my hands are shaky. I need to get me a tripod.
We don't care. Come on.
Didn't work, so, it's causing a lot of, academic problems. But it all resolved itself.
That's good. Hopefully she does well. Got your therapy and that stuff.
They just gave her home exercises. Said she's doing enough, she should just be able to do it.
Call the meeting in order, the clerk will read the roll.
Mayor Hollenbeck,
Here.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Here.
Small. Here. Shy.
Here.
Buckingham.
Here.
Rise for clerk, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes.
Moved by Commissioner Kaminsky that the minutes from the council meeting held June 4th, 2025 be approved and placed on file and dispense with the reading of the minutes.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small. Aye. Shy.
Aye.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Okay, anyone wishing to speak before the council? Yes?
So I came to the last meeting with a whole layout of questions that I had. I haven't gotten any answers on it yet, so I didn't know if we had a time frame on when I might expect answers for that.
I'll try to work on it. We've been a little inundated with, FOIA requests here, so.
And then I also would like to know, if the thing was ever filed, the tax exemption status was ever filed.
The Corporation Council is working on those right now. We're almost ready to file those.
And will we be able to retroactively get back that money?
I think that still remains to be determined, yes, but it is part of a TIF is what I understand, so there may not be any negative consequence.
Other than the whole city's funding being sent to us,
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
well, it was $86,000 plus that would only be able to be used in one location, right?
Well, it would be part of a TIF district,
Right, so only used in one location.
well, within that TIF district.
Yeah. So I'll check back up on that.
So we can pay the taxes now, the taxes aren't unpaid for 24, 25. So that's, we're disputing that. But the 2023 to 2024 was paid by the TIF because that was part of the, agreement when we sold the buildings.
So that was part of the.
Right, yeah. I had to refresh myself, I mean, it's a lot of stuff's flying around, so I did find that out. And if you wanna get shared if you want after the meeting, we could probably work on giving you the, seller agreement, and you can look it over too.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And
So the
then-
2025, 2024, 2025 taxes that are online, we're fighting that now.
And they're not doing payroll till
Yeah.
July 9 as the first installment.
The city's not gonna pay them,
Okay.
money right now.
Well, we might legally have to.
I hope.
That's the problem.
So
And
that
then,
needs to be sorted out.
well, and then the other question is, who is responsible for doing that?
Well, that should have been done when the city bought the building by previous council, Richard Burton, but it wasn't. And nobody here's the mind reader, so.
So if we're forced to pay that, would his insurance then be,
You cross that bridge when we get to it.
okay?
Okay?
I just wanna make sure that the residents aren't on the hook for that again.
Nope.
And then you'll get me a time frame.
No, I'll try to work on that. That was a pretty lengthy, request, but I'll try to work on it, get together with Mike on some of them
And
questions.
then for the finances too, Bob?
Yeah, I got that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Cheryl was working on it, when it came in 3 o'clock today, I was working with Cheryl to put it all together. Yeah, I'll get it to you.
Okay,
You want me to just email it to you, or you want me to put it in a folder and you pick it up?
you can email it.
Okay.
That'd be easier. I'm running all over sports events.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Anybody else? Okay, Commissioner Kaminsky, number 1, bi-monthly expense report.
Moved by Commissioner Kaminsky, the accounts payable for the first half of June in the amount of $314,152.56 be approved, and a warrant be drawn in the city treasury for the several amounts.
Do I have a second? Any discussion?
All right, so, these are our routine bills, University asphalt street resurfacing, $93,460.33. The Booze Brothers Fun Days Band, $4,800. BOKF, interest payment for the bond, $59,225. Costro, full baseball concession stand, $4,184.40. Palm Electric, South Water Tower power monitoring surge protector, $8,862.50. Hawkins Pool Chemicals, $4,729.07, which I think my pool chemicals are high. Sauk Valley College, Police Training School, $7,338.14. Besides our routine bills, Eschite and Vettner, $15,677. OSB Bank, the 2023 Ford Explorer payment, $11,000.
The new city building.
$59.70. Illinois Power Marketing or Homefield Electric, $23,102.81. And TCO, $4,989.03. Permar Security Systems, this is for the security system down in burglar alarm and fire system down at the new building, $119,940.54. Rudwick and Associates engineering fees, $26,160. And Torselli Consulting, our legislative consultant, helps us with our with all of our grants, $4,000. Any questions? Pretty lengthy, I'm sorry.
Clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small. Aye. Shag.
No.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Number 2, bi-weekly salary and payroll.
Moved by Commissioner Kaminsky that the payroll for the first half of June in the amount of $19,896.78 be approved, and a warrant be drawn in the city treasury for the several amounts.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
This is full swing, summer help and full.
Plus, we had a water break, was it last Friday evening? Everything breaks after hours and on weekends, so they were out on North and
North Avenue, yeah.
Clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small. Shive.
I abstain.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Number 3.
Moved by Commissioner Kaminsky that the operating budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 be approved.
Do I have a second? That was placed on file last meeting. Second by Small. Clerk, read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small. Shive.
No.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Okay, Commissioner Small.
Excuse me. So I had a few things. Fun Days is coming up, that's starting on the 22nd through the 29th. We've had a bunch of amazing events scheduled for that, so we're just reminding people to keep an eye out on social media for event listings. And also I wanted to make a reminder that we're having the senior luncheon at the Legion on the 20th at 11:30. You can RSVP at City Hall for that. Freedom Run is this weekend. Main Street will be closed Saturday at 8 a.m. So we just advise people to please alternate their routes so they don't get stuck over there, and to be safe. And thank you to all those who we are honoring for this event. The police department is hosting a bike safety rodeo on July 19th from 10 to 2 p.m. We'll be doing bike safety checks and registration, demonstrations, lunch, and parade around Riverfront Drive. We're asking for participants to please register. There are 50 spots available. There's forms in the lobby of the PD for that, if anyone is interested in that.
I'm sorry, Melissa, what was that date again?
The 19th.
I'm not very good at shorthand.
No, you're fine. That was on the 19th from 10 to 2 p.m. So, Officer Budok,
10 to 2?
yeah, Officer Budok will be doing some demonstrations, and some other officers will be participating as well. We'll be offering lunch to the kiddos, and we just ask the kiddos to dress in, comfy clothes for the weather, helmets, anything else that they feel they need to have for that as well. And that's about it. We just ask everybody to please be safe and mindful this weekend. There's going to be a lot of people coming into town. It's a wonderful event, and we just want everybody to be safe for Fun Days and this event as well.
Don't know what the temperature's gonna be next week yet, but
Supposed to be
Freedom
hot.
Run's gonna be super hot,
Supposed to
so
be very hot,
stay
stay
hydrated.
hydrated, yes. And that's all. Thank you.
Commissioner Schott.
I'd like to address something with sincerity and humility and with a continued commitment to transparency. In recent public comments, both in the council minute and on the City of Marseilles Facebook page, as well as on the Marseilles Mayor Jim Hollenbeck Facebook page, from which I am currently blocked, Mayor Hollenbeck has mentioned me by name and suggested I am responsible for both a toxic work environment at City Hall and the tens of thousands of dollars in FOIA-related expenses incurred by the city. As these statements have been made under the color of authority and in public forums, I believe any expectation of confidentiality has effectively been waived. To be clear, the FOIA expenses in question primarily stem from a document that was released last summer to a private citizen, which then prompted follow-up requests from both that individual and the Ottawa Times. I had previously asked that any discussion or release of this document be handled properly in either closed or open session. I also recommended that, if released, the document be redacted to protect the identities of those involved. This document, stemming from a third-party investigation conducted in October of 2022, found that Mayor Hollenbeck had created a toxic work environment at City Hall. It included a number of concrete recommendations intended to prevent future harm to city employees. To my knowledge, none of these recommendations have been meaningfully implemented. Out of concern for the city's potential liability and the well-being of its staff, I urged leadership to follow through on those recommendations. Instead, I was dismissed, publicly blamed, and personally attacked. I want to state clearly, I never had access to the documents in question and have repeatedly offered to sign an affidavit affirming that fact. I know tensions are high and the issues are complex. My only goal is to see the city function in a healthy, transparent, and lawful manner. I am not interested in finger pointing. I am simply trying to ensure that the truth is acknowledged and that all parties are held to the same standard of accountability. I remain open to dialogue, and I continue to hope for a city government that prioritizes transparency, professionalism, and respect for all who serve and reside here. We have on the question of the MFT, general maintenance, we're gonna be adding Lincoln to that. We were hoping to do Lincoln as construction, but there are crown issues that we're gonna lump that in with the other 3 streets. And we're gonna be doing a slow children sign at Wallace. On Wallace because people are avoiding Broadway, for which I'm grateful. One of my concerns about the park was that it pretty much involved 2 sides of a busy street. And I'd like to thank the streets department for putting in the temporary speed bumps. Nevertheless, there's a good bit of traffic that is now taking Wallace instead, and they're driving it a bit more quickly, I suppose, than would be ideal. Thank you for that, that's all I have.
So the slow children is gonna be on Wallace?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Buckingham.
Yeah, just, like Bill said earlier, like Jim said, for your run this weekend, just be safe out there, stay cool. You know, and I've said every year, and I think we're gonna shut down, if I'm not mistaken, for the music and everything, until the festival's over, or until the ceremony's over. There for a believer, wouldn't throw a bit of movement on the wall, that day wouldn't take place, I've said it for 20 years now, I'll say it again. So show up, pay respect, and look down. That's all I got.
Okay.
The museum will or will not be open?
What's that?
Did you say the museum will be open?
As far as I know, we'll be out of Jim.
Yeah, the tribute committee was
Yeah,
working
I'm
on
that
getting
now, so the
volunteers.
tribute committee's gonna take that over, so I mean, I'm hoping they get it over.
Okay, number 2.
So nobody knows.
Moved by Commissioner Buckingham that the city authorize PPI to repair leaking sewer on Pacific Street at a cost of approximately $65,630.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Any discussion?
That is actually for 7 sewer services. We had the main line televised and lined 5 or 6 years ago, and the guys found a sinkhole down there recently, and then they went back into televised, and there's a number of services that are actually leaking. So this is repair 7 of them. It costs close to $10,000 per service to seal it off. But that's where the water leaks in when we do it. That's why this lining gets to be so expensive.
And just to be clear, when we do this PPI repair going forward, we bring the service to the actual curb in line the lateral coming up. So that's what we've been doing on Route 6. We did
Right.
that project with the state.
Mhm.
They didn't do this when they did this project. That was what, 6 years ago?
6, 7
'Cause
years
I remember I
ago,
was in
something
the
like that. They
box.
just wanted to get it lined because they thought that was the problem. But then they go back in there and look at it, why, it's a service system.
Right.
And they use what they call a key liner. It goes in about 20 feet up the surface. If you have to go a little further, there's a little extra cost involved, but we're hoping that'll take care of it.
Okay, clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small. Aye. Shive.
Aye.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Number 3.
Moved by Commissioner Buckingham that the change order number 2 provides a handicap safe area for a handicap swing in the amount of $51,420 for Broadway Park be approved.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if everybody got this or not,
There's
but
more of them down here.
yeah, here's a layout of where the swing is gonna be.
The recommended area is by the swing manufacturer, and it's a surface, a cushioned surface, very similar to what you see at 10th Street. And, this is, 10th Street, I think it was 10 years ago or so, it was over 30,000 or something like that, so there's some excavation involved and things like that. So this is the contractor that's, doing the
Yeah,
work.
we'll leave these out if anybody wants to grab a copy, and this is officially where it's gonna go, not what social media said. It's
Well,
gonna be
you
right
can
adjacent
get a
to the
wheelchair
playground.
to the swing.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the other part of it too is why it's so wide was they told us, well, in case a child goes and climbs up on top of the swing and falls off, you won't get hurt.
Should've had all these protections when I was growing up. Clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner
Everyone's
Kaminsky.
handicapped.
Small. Aye. Shive.
Aye.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Number 4.
Moved by Commissioner Buckingham that change order number 3 provides a handicap accessible bathroom and installation in the amount of $108,432 for Broadway Park be approved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
This has been something that they wanted to add down there. I mean, the price is pretty high, but there's two ways to go about this. To be honest with you, you go and you put a porta potty there, we got a $1 million park sitting there, right? I mean, it's beautiful down there. I mean, I hate to spend $100,000 when we don't have the means to do a lot, but I mean, I think at this point, there needs to be some bathroom besides a porta potty. So I don't know how to satisfy this. This is a one stab, right? There's only one change. It's got a changing area with a bathroom.
What do you call a one-holer?
And I would also add that on your property tax bills, people are taxed for this. So if you pay taxes, you deserve something nice. It's referred as a comfort station. There's right at $100,000 in it now, 96,000 I think, and we're gonna have more tax revenue coming in, so.
Well, because assessments and rate both went up.
Correct.
I can also have timers for that, just like over at that one. Closes at 7 PM, whatever. So the timers can be set, so the park closes at 10 o'clock, the doors lock at 10 o'clock.
And I think everybody sitting at this bench understands that, when we have events down here, these bathrooms get tore up. I mean, it just happens. And it's a shame to see it happen, but, I mean, what do? We gotta serve the public, so this is important to have a bathroom down there. I'm not comfortable with the amount, but I can make the amount work. But, I mean, what do we do at this point? You're gonna have a splash park without any facilities? So that's a decision we have to make, and I know we had some conversations going back and forth about the cost.
Yeah, so that's where I stood with everything. I felt the costs were just insanely astronomical for what we want. I recall 4 or 5 years ago being the only person at a council meeting when they were doing specs for the proposal for this park, advocating for a bathroom and the necessity of it being as we are doing water and then dry and having parents have to, if they want to do picnics and they're down there long or whatever it is. However, when I saw that cost, I just wanted to know if we had other options and or other quotes for the same type of service we are offering the community. And I really did want the community input because it is a huge cost for one specific thing that is going to only be utilized for a very short amount of time. However, I do concur with everyone else that the necessity is there. I just can't say yes to that cost, which is why I abstained from voting yes to it.
Okay, clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky,
Aye.
Small,
Nay.
Shive,
No.
Buckingham,
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye. Let's see, we're gonna talk about fun days, gonna talk about Freedom Run. That's pretty well been covered, so I don't think I have anything else. City engineer?
Nothing, Mayor.
Nothing that's already been covered. City attorney?
Nothing there.
Nothing. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Commissioner Small, the City Council now adjourned.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Gilfig.
Clerk will read the roll.
Commissioner Kaminsky.
Aye.
Small.
Aye.
Shive,
Aye.
Buckingham.
Aye.
Mayor Hollenbeck.
Aye.
Where did you get that at?
Semi-platform.
Almost. Well, you wouldn't.
Yeah, excellent.
You can have that. Go ahead, take it.
The whole thing or just one?
$11,000 this year.
When this is reposted, you'll probably have to pause it here.
I don't have it on email, but
All right, guys. Have a good night.